y'all, welcome into Lemons to Lemonade. My name is Kara, and if you're new here, we're a furniture flipping family located deep in the heart of Texas. We bring you exciting furniture flips for profit premiering each Sunday afternoon. So if you enjoy content like that, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss a flip. We also have some really exciting news to share before the end of this video at our big reveal, so be sure to stay tuned. This week, we're flipping an oldie but goodie vintage secretary desk that we've had stored in our garage for over a year. We got super inspired to clean out some of our more challenging pieces when we participated in the Ugly Duckling Challenge. And if you didn't see the piece that we entered for that, I'll link it up at the top. So after flipping that ugly duckling, we thought, let's go ahead and tackle some of the harder pieces we have waiting around. So it's time for its makeover. Follow me to the garage and we'll show you what we did.
Here's what we started with. It's a vintage mahogany secretary's desk. It is missing the part on the front that folds down onto the desk part, and then it's missing the little compartments that they usually have inside as well, which is kind of a bummer. We picked this up from an auction. It actually came with a twin, so it had a matching one that we bought with it that had everything intact that we had already previously flipped. So I was hesitant to do this one, and it sat for so long because it was missing so many parts, and then it does have some water damage done to the sides of it, which I'll show you guys in a minute. So I was just a little intimidated by it, honestly. So it sat in the back of our garage for a year, I would say, easily a year. But this one was beautiful. It had hand-cut dovetail drawers on the side, which seemed to indicate a time period between 1940 and 1960. So I really wanted to bring this guy up to speed and give him some beauty, which he totally deserved. First things first, oh my goodness, do we ever need to vacuum this piece out? It is just full of cobwebs, dust, and dirt from just being old and sitting in my garage all year. So here we go. I'm going to give everything a good scrub with some Simple Green mixed up to the bottle directions. Go ahead and give everything a good scrub, and then make sure to rinse off the Simple Green with some water. So here's what it looks like after I cleaned it. This is actually not water damage. This is from the previous owner trying to refinish it themselves. It looks like they started sanding the project and then decided not to go further with it. So we're definitely going to have to clean that part up. Here's the water damage on the side that I was talking about. Luckily, none of the boards were warped at all. Everything is still flat, so it's just going to require some primer to make sure it doesn't bleed through, and some sanding just to make sure everything is very smooth. These days, a lot of these pieces are being used as coffee bars, and so we're going to bring this up to speed a little bit and just remove the crisscrosses that are inside of the glass here. We'll replace the glass, but the crisscrosses are going to go just so it looks a little more up to date and more modern. I decided to add a fun pop of color to this using peel and stick wallpaper. I'm going to do it the easy way, which is taking off the backing completely and laying my wallpaper down that way. It is so much easier if you can take the back off of your piece and lay your wallpaper flat versus working around shelves through the front end. Now it's time to prep the piece for painting. We're going to go ahead and sand everything down. We'll use a 120 grit sanding pad to get rid of the previous sanding that the previous owner had started, and then the rest of it we'll use a 220 grit sand to give everything a nice scuff sand before we apply our paint. We decided to take the drawers down to the bare wood, so I'm using my awesome Surf Prep sander with a 120 grit sanding pad on there, and you can see what a quick effort and how it gets into all the curves of these serpentine drawers in order for me to completely strip this to the bare wood. Now it's time to prime the piece. It is mahogany and I am going to do a lighter color so it will bleed. I have been using Sherwin-Williams shellac primer in the purple can. I bought a gallon of this that we loaded into our gravity-fed HVLP spray gun. It doesn't just come in spray cans, it does come in quart and gallon sizes as well. So we have been loving this product. It works very similar to the Zinsser bins and really stops that bleed through on any pieces. And again, because this is mahogany, it's really going to need it. Everything's got 2 coats of the shellac primer on it now, and we're going to go over it with a 220 grit sanding pad just to make sure everything is nice and smooth before we apply our paint. We've decided to use the color Ivory Lace by Sherwin-Williams. It's in their chalk paint formula. You can pick this up right in their stores, and it is just a nice creamy sort of off-white, but just not a bright white. I think it's going to add a really great contrast to what we're going to do with the drawers and then the peel and stick wallpaper in the back. Now that our paint is drying, it's time for me to work on that back panel. This is so much easier, you guys, than trying to wallpaper around shelves. So I picked up this really cute wallpaper from Amazon. I will link it in the comments. I also noticed that they carry it at Walmart, so that's kind of cool. So you can just stop in there and see if they have it as well. I picked up this really cute floral pattern that they had, and I'm just going to cut it right to where you can see on that backboard. I can see where the shelves end, and it is peel and stick, and so I'm going to go ahead and fit this to the back of the piece. This is our second time using peel and stick wallpaper on a piece of furniture. An extra pair of hands is super helpful if you're going to do this project. It is kind of easy, but it's a little tricky when you're trying to line everything up. Now we're just attaching the back onto the secretary desk. I couldn't do it from the front. You know, I couldn't show you most of the project before it's quite finished yet. You're gonna have to wait for the big reveal to see it in there. On these raw wood drawers, I chose to do a Varathane whitewash. I chose the whitewash instead of a paint wash because I was worried about bleed through, honestly, with the mahogany. This Varathane whitewash is more like a wood stain, so I think I have less worry about bleed through in the end with this. So you apply it on according to the package directions. If you let it sit, it will dry. I didn't want it to sit very long. I wanted some of this natural mahogany to shine through it a little bit, but yet tamper down the redness of the wood. So I left it on for just a few seconds before I would wipe back, and then you'll notice the more I'm wiping, the more of it is going to come off so you can get the look that you want. I love using Howard's Feed and Wax on the inside of old drawers. It just really helps refresh the wood, and it has a nice orange smell. So you just put some on the inside. If the drawer is very thirsty, it's going to take quite a bit, as you see me using here. You'll wipe it in with a clean cloth and then just wipe back the extra after a few minutes and it's all soaked in. It's time to spruce up that hardware. I'm going to go ahead and use 1 cup of distilled white vinegar, set it to a nice rolling boil on the stove, and then just put all of your hardware pieces in there and let it sit at the rolling boil for about 30 minutes. You can multitask like me and make your kids mac and cheese at the same time if you like. All right, now that my hardware is cooked and it's cooled down, I'm going to use some Barkeeper's Friend, a little bit of water, and a scrub pad. And look at what's underneath there. Isn't that so cool how that happens? I'm going to seal the drawers with some Minwax Soft Touch Furniture Wax. It looks white in the can, but it's actually clear. So you'll apply this with a soft cloth and just wipe it in just like you would furniture wax. Let it sit on the surface for about 5 to 10 minutes and then wipe back any residual wax that's on there. And this will just really help seal your piece. I like to add a little bit of furniture wax to the bottom of old drawers. It just helps them glide in and out a lot easier. It's time to put that glass back in.
We're getting close to the final reveal, but before we get there, I wanted to share our really exciting news. Some of you may have seen on a previous video where we shared our Dave Ramsey debt-free screen. We have been on a journey to get completely debt-free and have been able to get there with the help of our little furniture flipping side hustle. Since sharing our debt-free journey on our Lemons to Lemonade channel, we have been asked by the Dave Ramsey team to travel to Nashville and share our debt-free story live on the Dave Ramsey Show. How cool is that? So our family will be making the trip and we will share our debt-free journey live in the Dave Ramsey studio in the month of December. This will air on our YouTube channel, Dave Ramsey's YouTube channel, as well as SiriusXM. We will share more as the date comes closer, but we are so excited for this amazing opportunity of sharing with others how we've managed to turn our lemons into lemonade. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already to hear more details about this. Thank you so much for being with us. I won't hold you back any further. Here is our final reveal of this week's flip. Enjoy!